Hello, this is Steven R. Yes, we're back with yet another Batman 66 episode review. Today, we'll be reviewing the episode I'll Be a Mummy's Uncle, which is sadly the last appearance of King Tut. So without any further ado, let's get straight into this review. We begin our episode, I'm guessing, at Gotham City Hospital, where King Tut is there being essentially interviewed by a psychiatrist. When the psychiatrist happens to fall asleep, King Tut uses the opportunity to get up from the bed, steal his key, and then quickly, without him knowing, escaping the room. We then cut to King Tut at I'm guessing, an office where he and a small gang steal $47,000 and make their escape. And right on cue, Commissioner Gordon gets the call that the villain has escaped and immediately calls up Batman. We then follow to the opening credits, and then Batman and Robin are now in Police Commissioner Gordon's office discussing of King Tut, how he was so close to getting rehabilitated before he sadly reverted back to King Tut. Their next objective is Batman and Robin decide to go and investigate the woman that was attacked by King Tut when they robbed the $47,000. We also get a bit of further plot with how Barbara said that she would drop into the real estate owner as Commissioner Gordon wants to move into the city for a new building and move out of the apartment. We then go to King Tut's lair, which is essentially at a some kind of restaurant which is closed due to food poisoning. But King Tut then explains to his gang his new plan. How, because he's an Egyptian, he has a nose for nylanium, but that nylanium was lost, but he knows for a fact there is some nylanium in Gotham City. With him knowing that, he planned, and with that, he knows it's under Stately Wayne Manor. He then plans to buy with the $47,000 a property next to Wayne Manor, and then mine under Wayne Manor, and of course use all the nylanium to build these indestructible machines and buildings and create an indestructible empire. And their next step, they need to go to the Mesopotamian, a real estate owner who essentially is selling the property, and buy it. We then cut back to Batman and Robin in the Batcave discussing King Tut. Batman is remembering a line that the woman said that King Tut didn't want to be a pig about it. Realizing that line, it was against Egyptian law to eat pig, and realized that could possibly lead a clue, and asked the Batcomputer for help. The Batcomputer comes with a weird answer, but it's uncertain. Says that there's adjusting property that costs $47,000. Batman says that is partly true. There is a property adjust that he is personally selling, but he gave the real estate broker specific instructions for it to be paid to $48,000, not $47,000. Something must be wrong with the Batcave. We then cut to Barbara Gordon at the Mesopotamian, who is with the real estate broker, and we find out that the money is for $48,000, but he's cutting the commission, so it really costs $47,000. So it's not the machine's fault; it's this guy. And just as she's leaving, King Tut comes in and buys the property, gives the money and signs the contract. Barbara, pretending to be Batgirl, then calls up Bruce Wayne, telling about the King Tut trying to mine into his place, and he says he'll alert Batman as he'll be talking to him shortly. Now, realizing this, they get more notification from the Batcave, Batcomputer, saying that King Tut plans to mine for nylanium under Wayne Manor. The problem is it will lead straight into the Batcave. Already this episode is really interesting. A villain is coming close to getting into the Batcave. We've had villains smuggle in, but this is where they are not knowing they're going to the Batcave. Stressed and essentially scared of King Tut finding their identity, they call Batgirl up, who said will meet in Commissioner Gordon's office and tell him to meet around Wayne's property. Batman and Robin then decide to walk through a secret entrance to the property, not take the Batmobile in order to avoid King Tut going through, the Batmobile entrance. Just as we see that King Tut and his henchmen are mining under the property, but one of the miners says that that the blast is there might struck some nylanium, but no one wants to blow any more charges as it could be dangerous. King Tut doesn't care. He said he'll do it and asked to be shown the way. Just as that's happening, Batman, Robin, and Batgirl all turn up, and King Tut and his men quickly run down into the shaft with the dynamic trio following him. Batman and Robin then stop and tell Batgirl to stay here just in case King Tut comes back, knowing doubt not wanting her to follow them to discover the Batcave. They then end up running down the mine shaft. King Tut is in a mine truck, I guess you would call it, and as it's going down further the shaft, it smashes. And King Tut and his henchmen find out they are in the Batcave. And King Tut comes to the conclusion, because it's under Wayne Manor, Batman and Robin are really Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson. And a nice little connection to the previous King Tut episode of this season, King Tut opens up this cupboard and finds the dummies that were used in the previous episode, at least one that was used. And Batman and Robin are then just speechless because King Tut's in there, and they realize that this looks really bad. And just by that point, when Batgirl is waiting, Commissioner Gordon and Chief O'Hara happen to come and guard the entrance. We cut back to the action in the Batcave, where Batman and Robin reveal themselves and order King Tut to give up. However, he says no, as he knows the secret. The only way for him not to reveal it is if they keep his mouth shut. To keep his mouth shut, they have to kill him. And a big bat fight breaks out. I like the fight, not only because I think the choreography is pretty great, and it's another great fight in the Batcave, but also the context. Batman and Robin are fighting to prevent King Tut and his henchmen from leaving the Batcave, so that way they cannot spill what they've seen. And the fight goes pretty well in their favor. King Tut manages to make his escape though, and knocks out but Batman and Robin knock out all the henchmen, and then use some Batnesia gas. But there's a problem, they just used up all the Batnesia gas, so they have to stop King Tut before he reaches the end of the shaft. King Tut then runs into Batgirl, Commissioner Gordon, Chief O'Hara, and he is about to explain the big secret. Batman and Robin come and are shocked, almost speechless again, and says, has he told him anything? But Chief O'Hara says not, but he's been blabbering on about this big secret. And just as things look like they're getting worse, he's just about to reveal their true identities. A big rock falls on King Tut's head. And that is technically the last time we'll see King Tut, as when he gets back up, we get the William McElroy persona, and begins to walk out saying he's once again late for class, with Commissioner Gordon, Chief O'Hara, and Batgirl following. Robin says that was a close one, but Batman says it was partly what he planned. The idea he wanted to have King Tut raise his voice so that it would fall because this is such an old mine shaft. But Robin does have a good question. But what if he didn't raise his voice? What would happen then? And Batman says, don't ask me those questions. Those really depress me. We end the episode with Commissioner Gordon getting confirmation that William McElroy is in therapy and is now working in Yale University. So in other words, King Tut persona is officially gone. Barbara then comes in and says how there's a rumor of a flying saucer, but as a result they start looking in the sky, can't see anything. But look again, there is a flying saucer with the Joker and his new crew. So Joker will be our next villain in our next episode. Tune in for that. Okay, Alfred has little screen time, but it's fun to see. Commissioner Gordon, Chief O'Hara, again, little screen time, mostly for exposition dump. I like how Barbara and Batgirl is woven into the story and help progress it, but don't really play any big role. I like how the predicament Batman and Robin are in this time around. They're in a predicament where if King Tut escapes, their secret identities could be exposed. So this is really something unique here, and in a very unique predicament. Speaking of King Tut, Victor Buono back as King Tut for the last time. We've come another villain who we've come a long way. Another very great villain we've seen in season 1. He's been in all 3 seasons. He is arguably one of the best villains ever to be created for this show. Victor Buono plays him absolutely fantastically. I have no doubt this was arguably his favorite character to play. And even with the weak budget that these episodes have, he makes them work. Arguably, the King Tut episodes are arguably some of the best of Season 3. And I say this is a really interesting plot idea, but not just that, but for what kind of problems it could cause for our heroes. Something very unique and interesting. It is sad that this is King Tut's last appearance, but I think he went out on a really great episode. Unlike most villains, like I would say, like Egghead, Louis the Lilac, and I guess Catwoman, they either went out to lazy to okay episodes. Villains like Riddler and Penguin had mediocre to fun episodes. But King Tut, I say, actually went on a really great episode. And along with Shame as well, Mr. Freeze went out on another okay to fun episode. Mad Hatter went out on a great episode. But I can say really here, this is a really great episode to end the character on. Next week's episode, of course, the Joker will be returning, still played by Cesar Romero, and it will be the last time we'll see Joker before we are done. I'll Be Your Mummy's Uncle is another fun, great episode. Maybe some bad, not really much of a bad budget this time around, but I really like this episode. It's nice and fun, and considering this is King Tut's last appearance, I really like it. Victor Buono will always be the best version of King Tut, and arguably he stands a testament to, arguably, when you have an actor just let loose and just enjoy the role as it comes. And there we have it. That was I'll Be Your Mummy's Uncle. Sadly, King Tut's last appearance. King Tut, you shall be missed. Join us next time with a dynamic trio. We're going up against the Joker for one last time. So stick around when we review that episode. Until then, tune in to the next Steven Hour, the next Steven Channel. Ladies and gentlemen, so long for now.